in every story, there's the moment where you think where things get bad and they get good. It's like, it's that feeling inside of you that this has to end well. I think that that little pilot light of that, it feels like it perseveres no matter what, you know?
Well, it can get blown out. We do some work with, I agree with you about that pilot light. And by the way, think of it not just as a pilot light, but like what a pilot used to be, or a pilot of an airplane or a pilot of a ship, right? It's a guiding light, right?
Well, I think it's not even my own pilot light, but I think it's the collective pilot light. That's the one that I feel like wins in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if us as individuals, if we win.
That's an excellent distinction, because we're doing some work, myself and some of my colleagues, graduate students, of vets who have post-traumatic stress disorder, and their internal light in some sense been blown out. But I like what you said. One of the things we're trying to do is see if they can catch it from each other again, and try and bring about interventions that can bring that about. So remember I mentioned Paul Tillich, the courage to be. There's a Greek word for this, and it's from the Christian tradition. It's Kairos, and it means the right timing, where the time where the course of things turns. And the Kairos is always a place in which multiple opportunities. So, like, the Bronze Age collapse. Civilizations can collapse too, right? And so, right, we're at this very crucial time now. It's a dangerous time, but the advantage of a Kairos is, okay, when everything is going really well, a system is really stable and it has a lot of inertia, and it's hard to make a difference. But when things are breaking up, this is called self-organizing criticality, then individuals can make a difference that they can't normally make so don't look at like, well, things have always been this way, because if we're actually in a crisis, a Kairos, then your capacity as an individual to make a difference has been increased.
Wow, man, that's awesome. That's really awesome, man. And that's something that I think, I'm grateful to hear that today. And I think, and not to give us the insight that we are gods, or but just that never has the road been set more when you can have an impact.
That's right.
Because that's just the way that the chips are stacked. So what a blessing for you to be able to have an impact right now. If you do something good, if you do something positive, if you choose to take the road that builds up your self-worth more than the just feeling good in the moment, that's inspiring, man. When you think of what about like love? Like, people look at love a lot,
Yes.
Have you been in love before?
I'm in love right now.
Okay. So you have a partner now and y'all have children?
No, I have children from a previous marriage. She has children from a previous marriage, and we're done. We've raised children. Her two children are adults. My two children are now adults.
Okay, but you've had children though.
Yeah. And there's but I am in love now, and I also love my kids. I love my friends, but I've also been learning to love the world and reality and being, and in that sense, like agape, the love that makes us, like we were talking about earlier, the love that turns us into human beings. The Bible, I'm not a Christian, but the Bible said, God is agape, like finding that reciprocal opening, that sacredness, finding the deep connections between logos, that spirit of making sense of things that emerges between people, the agape by which we make each other into people, but it also connects us deeper to reality. The deep within is calling to the deep without, and they call to each other. I'm in love with all of that.
Yeah. Did you do you think that
Theo, I think if you ask me in the elevator, John, you have 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I would say: learn to love wisely. That's it. It's really hard. Most of my failings have become that I did not love wisely. I loved foolishly. I think you could understand sin as a failure to love wisely. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I just wanted to express that.
No, I appreciate you expressing that. Yeah, I think I've done that a lot of times. I think sometimes there's things that are easier to love, and it's not even love. It's not even love. It's like a lust, even of your imagination.
Yeah.
Or even if you can, anything can lust. It doesn't have to be just like of your groin or whatever,
Yeah.
It can be of any, you can.
Fame.
Yeah.
Fame.
Yeah. Fame, food,
Food.
sugar.
Oh, yeah, I went through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, dude, I eat a whole bag of damn Dove dark chocolates. And I'll do it again sometimes.
I miss the chocolate. It's one of the things I had to give up when I was diagnosed with diabetes.
Oh God, dude, they get you. Yeah, how crucial is that to people to the success of their survival, do you think?
Love? Well, I mean, again, lust is when we're pursuing love from the having mode. Right.
Okay.
So you need to have sex. We got into the mistake of thinking, no, we don't need that. That messes people up.
Yeah.
Right. And then we do the other thing. No. You need you'll get love by just having lots of sex, and that now we're in the other. We swing the other way.
Heartbreaking.
Right. And so I mean, love is like love. Like the thing is, we're really confused. First of all, love isn't a feeling. I'm in love with Sarah right now, and until I mentioned those words, I wasn't feeling anything.
Right.
Love isn't an emotion. I'm in love with Sarah, and sometimes that makes me sad. I miss her right now a lot. Right. Sometimes it makes me angry. You're threatening Sarah. No, you're not going to do that. Right. And sometimes it makes me really happy. Sometimes it makes me very thoughtful. Wow. I just realized I really don't know her, and that's wonderful. So love isn't even an emotion. Love is an existential stance. It's you and I, we're going to religio, we're going to bind ourselves so we reciprocally open. So you draw the best out in me, I draw the best out in you. You transcend yourself through me, and I transcend myself through you. And we keep realizing that is such amazing mystery that it keeps happening. We're going to be faithful to it.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, it's a commitment, but it's not a commit. Like the Greeks had,
it's not a prison.
No, and the Greeks had the Greeks have two words, right? There's enkratia, like democracy, kratia, power. So enkratia is when you commit by like I'm not gonna eat the chocolate. Or I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. That's enkratia. Sophrosyne is different. Sophrosyne's like this. St. Paul talks about when he does the hymn to Agape. When I was a child, I thought like a child, I acted like a child. But then when I became an adult, I put childish things behind me. As the child is to the adult is to the sage. Right. So when you're a kid, you have two gods, candy and toys. In fact, one of the greatest things I did philosophically with my younger son is I came to him one day and I said, which is more important, toys or candy?
God.
And he looked at me like, finally, Dad is asking me something intelligent. Right. And he even said, like, give me a moment, I want to think. Right? I was like, okay. And then he came back to me and he said, toys, because you can get sick of candy. And I thought, that's my son. Right? There's a philosopher in there somewhere, right? And so. Right, but notice and I used to play with him all the time, and it's a weird thing when you're an adult because, like, I remember one of my friends told me he remembered the day when the toys died. Because what happens is when you're a kid, toys are super salient to you, right? My son, when he was young, he used to have that, like a toy tower where all the MC figurines are there and everything. To get him to, he would forego urinating and eating to play, right, with his toys, right? Now I would play with him, but I don't have that, because I hope I'm an adult, I'm a man. And I don't have to sort of resist. I don't have to go, no, I won't play with the toys. No, I won't. I've matured what I find salient. We call that a salience landscape. I've matured what I find salient, how I connect to things.
And salient means, just to make it clear,
how things grab your attention, how they stand out for you, how they catch you.
Got it.
Right? And so, like, I know logically I could pick up the toys and play this is more, but it doesn't draw me. See, Sophrosyne, that's Sophrosyne. You want to commit, not encratically. I'm not going to cheat on my partner. You want to commit Sophrosyne. It's like I'm constantly tempted by the good. I'm constantly flowing. It comes like second nature to me to have this commitment. Like Frankfurt called love a voluntary necessity, which is a brilliant way of putting it. Do you see what I mean? Because we have the problem we have is we can And this messes people up. This is why I wanted to speak to this. I think commitment's the right word. The problem is we often, when we hear commitment, we think of duty, and then we fall into adkratia, and I'm going to force myself to stay with this person, right? Now, you have to tough it out at times, but right in the end, you want to mature in a relationship so that the commitment is sophrosyne, right? Right? So it's
reciprocal.
Yeah, and it's opening, and you're being drawn into it rather than forcing yourself. It's like when you're meditating. Initially, you're sort of constantly trying to keep your attention on the breath, and it's like concentrate, like the word, you're forcing things into the center, right? But what you get is you get to where it flips, and instead of doing that, you're constantly instead being reinterested and being drawn into what you're focusing your attention on, entering the stream, as they talk about. Right? You want to enter the stream in your love. Like infatuation is the momentary madness that gives us a foretaste that we can properly play with of how that can happen. But the problem is we can't stay in infatuation. You have to. What infatuation does is it says, okay, see how you could get into this reciprocal opening with somebody? Now, this is candy. Find out how to make it food, basically. That's the other problem we have in our culture. The romantic comedies have told us that the most important, not only do they tell us that this weird bullshit story that the universe will conspire to bring you the person you should be with. No, it won't. No, it won't.
Yeah, the universe is not like it's not like a lazy Susan.
No, exactly. And the other thing it tells you is, right, the best part of love is the falling in love part. No, it's not. Infatuation, right? Infatuation is to shake your world up enough, right, so that you could cultivate that commitment so that it becomes, you're constantly tempted to fall in love with the person again and again and again.
And that's what I thought was interesting that you said in the beginning was that when you were talking about your partner, about your wife, that you said, if there's something new I see about her, or that she's a mystery, you know? Continuing to perceive that person as a mystery, really, or to look at them as a mystery, it just makes it's going to make every day or every week, whatever, like a new episode. It's not going to, you're not going to just be playing the same episode over and over, you're giving your framework, you're framing as a perspective to, let me see what else new I could learn or see about this person, or a new way that I can relate to them. That's pretty fascinating.
Well, so confronting a mystery rather than here. This is how you know your relationship is doomed. If you turn your partner into a problem to be solved, rather than a mystery to constantly face and be faithful to.
Wow, to be faithful to a mystery too. That's a pretty brave thing, you know.
Well,
it's exciting. It's cool. It's cool though. I think it's neat.
I think that's what I again try to rehabilitate the notion of faith. Instead of faith being asserting propositions, pretending that you have certainty, even though you don't have evidence. What about we reconsider faith as faithfulness to the mystery of being, so that we continually fall in love with reality in increasing depths within and without? Why don't we make faithfulness as opposed to, I'm going to say things that have no evidence and I'm going to pretend that I'm certain about them? I think that's a really modern, and it's not the ancient notion of faith. And that's one of the things, again, we've lost faith as a profound faithfulness.